Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gino. My voice is here. Okay, so this is number 63, I believe. Abstract mixed media piece again. Today I decided to try something different. I wanted to do some watercolor abstract. So I'm using this sketch and drawing pad. It's 225 GSM. It's by Arto, and the paper is really nice and thick. And even though you throw a whole set of water on it, it still remains smooth, and there's no peeling of the paper and all of that. I just really love it. And the price for me in my country is very reasonable. Can't remember how much it is right now, but I think it's under, or probably around like $25. It's very reasonable for me. So I just love it. Anyway, so I'm actually doing, because I'm going to use so much water, I am using my 9x12 art journal as well as the paper. So I bordered my page. My page is raw, there's no gesso or anything. Bordered it with masking tape, and I spritzed my watercolors so that they'll get nice and moist and juicy. And then I'm also spritzing my page because I want, when I add the watercolor, I want it to spread and run and, do its thing. So I'm adding colors that, my eye falls on. I'm like, hey, this color should look good. I didn't want it to be too dark. So I tried to start off with the green and, added the yellow and the nice blues. So it's loaded with water. So this sketch pad as well is loaded with water. I will put a description down below exactly. I can't exactly the name of the sketch pad that I'm using, the mixed media pad. It's awesome. Now you see, I don't know if you could see, but the page is, it's gotten wavy, but it smooths out eventually. And there's no peeling of this either. So this paper is from the Arto pad, the 225 GSM. It's so cool. I just love it. So I'm just, protecting, because I don't want it to run all over the table and all that. So I just put in stuff below, spritzing my page again, and adding, look at that. It just blooms. You put your dot and it blossoms out. It's like, yeah. I was going to make some strange noises, but I decided against it. So I did not wet the whole page because I didn't want it to spread everywhere at once. So I'm just spritzing in certain places, and I'll add the paint. And if I wanted to run in a different direction, I'll add some more water. So that's why I would add paint, then add the water, then add the paint, and add the water. Because, I guess it's to have some sort of control as to where I want the paint to go and how I want it to run. So this page, it started to lift up off of the table. And because of that, the water would run based on how it's lifted. So after that, I realized, see, I put the paint on it so that it would kind of flatten. This one was too light. But I put it so that it would kind of flatten and run not in that direction, I'm holding it down with my hand because it's lifting off, and I just want to flatten it so it will kind of stay or run in the other direction and not where it was going. But this page is full of water, and yes, I'm adding more. And I'm squeezing the paint out of the brush because I just I wanted the black to be really dark, really intense. So that's why I keep going over it. Because obviously when I add the water, it will spread and it will look kind of gray. But I wanted some of the black areas to look very black. And then I found it was looking, look at that. It looks so juicy. But then when it spread, it just get kind of gray. So I found it was too much black now. So I'm adding my turquoise. Let's call that turquoise. And yeah, I'm just adding it in more areas to brighten up the page a bit. And then there's the whole process of drying up all this liquid. So as you could see, the air just pushes the liquid all around, and then some areas of it would dry. So when that dries, the other liquid, it would not go in that area. It was so interesting. This was such an interesting project to observe and do and take part in. It's awesome. Look at that. And you know, no matter how you push the air, it wouldn't go in that area again because it's dry. You know, it will only go in the wet where there's water. That's so cool. It's staying in its lane. Sorry. Yeah. Get in your section. Anyways. So now I am trying for it to run in places where it doesn't have liquid, where it's dry. And the thing is, I didn't want to have it like a drippy effect like this. But I say, you know what, let me still go with it. It's doing its thing. And I'm just going to keep adding. Right, so I felt it was still too dark, so I added more of the blue, turquoise, to still brighten it up. Still trying as well to keep the dark areas, some dark areas. But this is so cool. And I like when I added the two colors, the color on top of the other color, and how it, you know, you could actually see it mixing and running into each other and spreading, and it's just fantastic. It's a very relaxing, very rewarding activity to do. I really enjoyed this. It's like you could just make watercolor pages whole day. Anyways. So there were some areas that were taking really too long to dry, so I just took my baby wipe and I just sopped it up. And I knew that when I did that, it would like leave a space, but I was okay with that. So these are my two pieces. I actually did another one, but I didn't realize that it wasn't taping. How lame am I? So lame. And I actually like that one better than the one below. I put it below because it was wavy and I wanted the heavy journal to flatten it. So that's why I put it underneath. So now I'm adding more color to this because I found that it was too light and there weren't any defined areas, which is what I wanted. I actually had a plan today. Oh, yeah. I had a plan. So yeah. I wanted defined lines and sections and some areas to be blurred into each other. So that's what I was looking for, and I didn't get that on this page. So that's why I'm coming in now with these extra colors in these areas and in this way. And when I put this orange on, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so bright. It looked really intense compared to the rest of the page. And I was thinking, it's too much, but it actually looked cool. I like it. So this is just my attempt to intensify my colors and add some more defined areas amidst the blurred, flowy areas. So these are my pieces. Underneath got wet, so I just wiped that up, clean up my desk. And you see, that was the piece I did before that didn't get to tape. It looks so good. So I'm just gonna put it in my book so it'll get nice and flat. It is dry, I dried it, and I'm gonna leave it there for it to get flat. I'll add some stuff to it in another video. Today I pulled out all my intense pens that I think are intense enough and strong enough to handle this. Really and truly, I ended up using my Fude Ball mainly, and a Pilot pen, and the Uni-ball pens as well, the black and the white. So those pens are great for writing over other media. It's awesome. Fude Ball is really thick, so that's why I used the Pilot to get thinner lines and to have more control. The Fude Ball is just real thick. See? So the Pilot, I get some really nice fine lines and it writes really well. I've been looking all over for black, for another one in this or more. I wanted to buy more than one, and I'm not seeing them anywhere. Did they stop selling them? Does anybody know? It's crazy. Well, in Trinidad anyway, I go in stationery stores all the time because I just love stationery stores, but I'm not seeing them. I would see the red, and I might see the blue, but I don't see the black at all. So I'm gonna have to keep looking. If any of my local peeps are watching my video, just leave me call me or send me a message and tell me where, if you see it and where you see it. Because this Pilot pen is the bomb. It's just awesome. It's sexy. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But anyways, so I'm just gonna go through. I had no plan with these lines. What I did was I partially followed some of the defined areas, and then I just kind of veered off and did my own thing. That's how I drew my lines. So I would follow some of the defined areas and then just, go my own way, and that's, yeah. That was it. And then I'm adding some extra lines because I found I didn't want to add very thick lines and I didn't want to add too many, so I just extended some of these by adding extra lines coming out of them in some areas, just to give a little extra something, So here I'm thinking, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna take off my tape, and then I keep looking at it and I'm thinking maybe I could add some white. So I was trying to decide which of the whites to use. This one is a hybrid. I'll put a name down, and the proper name in the description. I think it's hybrid gel pen, but as you could see, it wasn't working very well. But the Oh gosh, is it jelly roll? This worked really, really well. Oh my gosh, is it jelly roll? Anyway, this one worked really well. I loved it. However, when I was trying to color in, it wasn't working too good. You could actually see like it was scratched in instead of filling it in completely. I wanted a solid white inside, so I was trying to think what I could use to get that fixed. But I went ahead and I drew some more just random white lines. Of course, I went in the darker areas to do it, and I'd kind of faded out into the white areas, you know? Yeah. And all the while I'm thinking, okay, so if I let it dry and I go back over it, maybe it'll work. But it didn't work. So I thought, let me use my Posca pen. But then this didn't work either because it kept picking up the paint and it was just looking kind of creamy. Yeah. So that wasn't working either. Maybe my Posca pen doesn't work good. I don't know. I even brought in this pen that I really don't like, that I kind of abandoned. And I thought, maybe let's try it. What are my options? But that didn't work at all either. I went back in with my jelly roll, and it was kind of like it was picking it back up instead of adding another layer. Yeah, that's what was happening, and that's not what I wanted. So then I thought maybe I could use acrylic paint, but then I saw my gesto, which is, look at that, it's like a souffle. Is that right? The thing that you whip cream and you whip it and you get some nice soft peaks. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, lick me. Look at that, it's looking real thick and nice. Anyway, so when I put it on, my brain went, this is it. You know, it's like the perfect thing that you find at the perfect time. Yeah, that's how I felt when I put my first stroke on. It's awesome. And then I just added that on. So happy. I wanted to put more other places, but I didn't trust that it would, you know, be contained. So I decided to do some little extensions, you know, just kind of feather it out and let it fade into the rest of the piece. And yeah, then I was happy. And I thought, okay, Gina, this is enough. You don't need to do any more. That's fine. And now I'm done. So I'm going to take off my tape. Let me know what you think about this. I hope you try it too. I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, try it. It's very relaxing and it's very rewarding. And also, if you haven't done it in a while, do some again. It's lovely. It's just, I know some people do like flowers and dots and patterns and swirls and stuff. So do whatever you want, you know, and just enjoy the process. It's fantastic. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!